What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Afternoon, at least if you are on Eastern time. Sandy Golston back at you here, working on a different camera setup here. So hopefully that goes okay. I am experimenting with some different times to go online for the live stream. And typically it's a monthly live stream that I'm doing. But as July is Camp NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, I have decided to fully participate. So I'm going all in this month. And so this month, at least this month, I am going to be doing live streams each week. And so those are already scheduled through the StreamYard service, and they are already posted to the channel. I put those in last night when I made the decision to go full blast with Camp NaNoWriMo. So as you might be familiar with regular NaNoWriMo, which is in November, you have a 50,000 word novel project that you work on. And the goal is to complete, obviously, the 50,000 words by the end of the month. And Camp NaNoWriMo, you can, there's more flexibility. You can take on different aspects of writing, whether it's a full-blown novel, whether it's you want to do some editing, whether you want to do whatever related to writing your novel. So I have decided to take a project that I'm already working on and to use it for a Camp NaNoWriMo project. Now, this is book one in my 5-book series that I'm working on. So I'm actually pretty excited about it. I'm creeping up on 20,000 words in the story. So it actually is perfect for Camp NaNoWriMo for me. So I can just go ahead and just put that in as part of my project. Well, as my full project for this month. So it just actually works. The timing of it is perfect. It gives me a little extra motivation to get this done. So that is giving you a little bit of an idea. I need to get that up there on the screen. A little bit of an idea of what I'm going to be working on today and really for the rest of this month. I am trying to get myself focused. So two things happened that kind of upset the focus. And that is, number one, I came up with a fantastic story idea that I'm really excited about. It has nothing to do with the other project that I'm working on. And so I hate when that happens, but I love when that happens. And so I got a new project that I'm working on, and that was a little bit of a distraction for me because I really want to jump into it. And I kind of did a little bit, but I'm really wanting to get this book series going here. So I'm going to focus on that for now. The other thing that happened is the other novel that I am prepping to potentially shop to literary agents and publishers, I got hit with just an incredible inspiration last night and then again today. And usually if it hits me twice and I don't write it down, that means that I probably should strongly consider it. And so that's what I did. And so I implemented a change to this story that I want, this other story that I want to get published and shop to literary agents at some point to spice it up a little bit. I drew some inspiration from a couple of other books that I either have read or will read. So that's kind of where that is going. So let me know if you guys come through, what projects you guys are working on right now, whether it's writing, editing, arts and crafts, knitting, crocheting, cleaning around the house. I still got my barbecue grill that I got that I need to put that together. So I was going to put that together. Let's see, it came Wednesday or Thursday. I think it came Wednesday. And I was going to put it together. And then I just didn't really feel like it. Life got in the way and some things were going on. So I didn't really feel like putting the barbecue grill together, but I need to put it together by tomorrow, because I definitely want to use it tomorrow for the 4th of July. I want to do some grilling a little bit. I'm supposed to be dieting, trying to get myself in better shape. So I need to be careful of that, but I will just consider that my cheat day. So we shall see how that goes. I'll try not to cheat too much, but I will be cheating definitely a little bit. So got to put together the barbecue grill, got some projects got to get done around the house as well. So those are things that I'm hopefully going to get done this weekend as well. But from a reading standpoint, I will tell you about, hang on, let me change that a little bit. So what I'm reading right now is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. And those of you who follow the channel, you know that when Riley Sager drops one of his books, that I'm definitely picking it up and reading it. And so I'm about, let's see, getting close to 100 pages. I'm 80 pages in so far, and it is good. He does a great job of building suspense. And so I'm definitely excited about this one. I'm thinking about doing a vlog just about my reading experience with this particular book. But it would be a spoiler free, because I definitely don't want to spoil things for anybody. But I do want to share my experience reading this one, because this is definitely my most anticipated book of the year. So I'm excited about maybe sharing some of my thoughts with that. So, and I've seen on Goodreads a lot of my Goodreads people, the Goodreads family, they are definitely picking this one up and reading it. Some people are just on fire, reading it really fast. I'm like, dang, slow down a little bit. But yeah, people are just up and going with this particular book. So Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I pre-ordered it off of Amazon, and because I wasn't sure if they were going to make it Book of the Month. I'm also a Book of the Month member, and they didn't make it a main pick. And so people were just kind of worried that it might be an add-on, but it might not. And it ended up being an add-on. But I'd already pre-ordered it, and I was fine with that. Got it a few days earlier than Book of the Month people got it, which is fine. Again, it's cool. Definitely excited about reading Survive the Night by Riley Sager. So that is the main book that I am reading right now. And if you check my June books TBR that dropped this morning on the channel, that'll show you some of the other books that I'm going to be reading this month as well, that I'm planning on reading. So definitely check that out if you get an opportunity. And hopefully that'll, if you have any ideas about books that you're reading that you're excited about, you can definitely leave that in the comments section as well. So with that, the plan here for today is to continue on the 5-book project. Again, I'm in book 1 of that series, and the goal for this year is to have 2 of the 5 books written by the end of the year. So I'm guessing that book 2 might be my NaNoWriMo project. So we shall see. But I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I might end up cheating. I know NaNoWriMo technically, I don't know, whatever, you can do whatever you want. But you're supposed to start a project, outline, and have it ready to go, and then write it, during NaNoWriMo, and then have it spill over as it does. So my book that I did last year for NaNoWriMo, I got more than the 50,000 words done by the end of the month. And then it ended up, I can't remember, it ended up being like probably 80,000 words by the time it was all said and done. So 50,000 words is a lot. It's not a huge amount for me. I can do it as long as I'm focused on one particular project. It's really not that much of an issue. So, but for some people it can be. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. November can be a very busy month, especially with big holiday at the end of the month, Thanksgiving, and then just again, lots of things going on in the world. So yeah, that's where we are with that. So I'm going to be working on that project today. And just so as you know, I am about, let's see, it looks like about almost 17,000 words into this particular book. I'm anticipating that it's going to end up being probably in the 80 to 90,000 word range before it's done. So let me see here. So not quite 16,000 words. I keep some of my outline materials at the bottom of the story. And so it's not as easy as just looking at the bottom. I use Microsoft Word. So it's not as easy as just looking at the bottom of the screen and seeing how many words there are, because you have to subtract. It's about almost a 2,000 word difference. So that is good to know. That'll make it a little bit easier in the future to realize it's just about a 2,000 word difference between what it says at the bottom of the page and what's actually there in terms of the actual story. So that is where I'm at today to begin. I hope everybody's doing okay, and I hope everybody's getting a lot of good reading in this month. And I am going to get ready to do some productivity sprints here. Again, this is part of NaNoWriMo, so I probably need to pay a little bit closer attention to my word count, even more so than usual, to make sure that I am on track really well. So, all right, let me get the clock up on the screen. And so I'm going to go for 20-minute sprints. I'll probably do at least 3 of them. So hopefully you guys will stay with me. So 3, so that's obviously an hour right there, plus another half an hour of me talking before and between and then after the sprints to wrap it up at the end. So I'm probably looking at about, close to 90 minutes, 80 to 90 minutes of activity. So hopefully everybody is on board and coming through, and I will be checking the chat. So if anybody leaves some comments in there, I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. I'll be flexible with that. And we'll definitely chat if people are here and interested between the sprints. So feel free to comment, throw some questions at me, offer some book suggestions. I'm always interested in those, especially if you have any 5-star book suggestions. I've only read what I would consider 1 5-star book so far this year, so I'm definitely looking at one. Survive the Night, I just started. I think that's got 5-star potential so far. I'm really digging that one. And I've got another book over here, The President's Daughter by Bill Clinton and James Patterson, that you can't really see here. Let me take this off the screen real quick. It's a little bit harder to see, but it's right here. And I've got Malibu Rising, Taylor Jenkins Reid is another one that I'm interested in. A couple other books that I have that aren't right here immediately that I'm looking at reading as well. One is called The Vines that I'm looking forward to reading at some point pretty soon. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook, and again, it could be just Facebook's algorithm trying to get me to buy more books, because you click on Facebook and then whatever ad. Let me see, get my fingers here so you can see it. Whatever ad you click on, then it product ends up following you for time and all eternity. So, sometimes you got to be careful what you click on, because it'll follow you for the rest of your life. But The Vines is another one. It's over there in another room that I'm looking at. I should have had it over here amongst the stack of books. So, yeah. So that's kind of where it's at there. Welcome to the Shadows Lair. I need to read more, but currently working on my World Anvil stream hopping. So we'll be in and out. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in and showing a little bit of love. It's great. This is a different time for me. I typically go in the morning, and but I found that a lot of people, I don't know, maybe a lot, it might be an exaggeration, but there's quite a few people that are doing first of the month live streams, productivity sprints during, that first Saturday of each month. And so it was getting a little bit crowded in the morning. So I decided to experiment here with afternoon, but I'm finding that I kind of like the morning a little bit. So I might just go back to the morning and just kind of roll up the sleeves and compete with the big dogs that are out there that are live sprinting during the morning. So we shall see. I've also experimented with Saturday night, with Sunday night. So I did one last Saturday, I think, that ended up actually being going pretty well, because a lot of people did kind of come through and ended up having a pretty good time. So that was definitely much appreciated. So anyway, thank you for coming through. And I am going to go ahead and get ready for the first productivity sprint. By the way, you'll see the ticker across the bottom of the screen. If you consider hitting the like button if you come through, that would be fantastic. If you're not a subscriber to the channel and you would be interested in more BookTube and AuthorTube content, I would consider this to be AuthorTube content. So most of my live stuff is AuthorTube content, and most of the stand-up videos that I do, that's going to be more of my BookTube content. So it's not necessarily by design, just kind of the way it works out. It's just kind of easier to do the AuthorTube content as live broadcasts rather than as stand-up videos maybe for obvious reasons. So that is that. And let me go ahead and get the clock back up on the screen. We'll go productivity sprint number 1, and we'll go for 20 minutes, and then I'll come back and see what's going on. Okay, let me stop and see. Let me tally up here a little bit. Sorry about that. Had it running in the background. Of course, I had the sound on. All right, let me check and see where I am at right now. I was having a little I shouldn't say technical difficulties, but I did have something that I needed to fix. I was not hardline plugged into the internet, so I had to do that. So I had to interrupt the stream for just a little bit. All right, so let's see. So I finished with 505 words during the 20-minute sprint. So that was pretty solid one for me. I'm at a pretty good spot, but I'm doing what I usually tell myself not to do, which is going back and reworking on spots instead of just keeping it pushing forward. So I did a little better job toward the end of the 20 minutes of just pushing forward as opposed to going back and revising and fixing things. And it's difficult not to go back and fix things while it's fresh in your mind. I know I should probably just put a note on the side to as a reminder to go back and fix it. But hey, sometimes you get caught up in the moment and you just can't really help yourself, and you end up going back and fixing something that you did not get right in the first place. I shouldn't say didn't get right, but you could have done better if you go back and take a look at it. So with that, I am going to continue and get ready to start another 20-minute sprint here. So those of you who come through, you can continue to work on your projects as I will continue to do. And hopefully everybody will stay as productive as possible here. And that'll be a good thing here. I'm off to a really good start again. With that 500 plus words, that's again going to keep getting me closer and closer to, I'd like to finish the day with, I'm doing Camp NaNoWriMo, so I typically like to get at least 1,500 words in for Camp NaNoWriMo. But today, with these sprints, I figure I can average probably around 500 words per 20-minute sprint. So that should leave me with at least 1,500 words just during this hour and a half alone. And so I should be able to add on top of that. So I could be looking at anywhere, maybe close to 3,000 words, maybe a little bit more by the end of these sprints. So let's see, and let's go for hopefully the best here as I get ready to go into productivity sprint number 2. So that's where we are, and we're going to go ahead and get going. Okay, let me see if I can tally up here real quick. And so, okay, I had 505 words in the first sprint. Let's see what we got here. So I ended up with 561 words during the second productivity sprint. So I'm in a pretty good spot there, feeling pretty good about that. I'm in a nice flow right now. I actually just started a new chapter, so that actually made it a little bit easier for me to jump in and get going with that, get a nice writing flow going. So up over 1,000 words already through 2 sprints, and with 1 more to go, that's putting me well on pace to hit the 1,500 word goal for this hour. It's going to be coming up right on an hour, almost exactly here right now. It's officially 1 hour. So I'm going to be on here for at least another 25, maybe 30 minutes here, because I'll have at least 1 more 20-minute sprint. And then I will begin to wrap it up and get back to some other things that need to get done around the house. I do need to finish reading my book here, Survive the Night by Riley Sager. That's the book that I'm currently reading right now. So looking forward to finishing this one, jumping into this one. Coming up on I think I'm at about 80 pages in so far. I'm a notoriously slow reader, and I've seen that some people on Goodreads are just tearing through it with like no regard for human life. So I probably need to step my game up there so I can be one of the first. I'm actually probably going to end up doing a reading vlog on it, just to kind of a spoiler-free impressions about Survive the Night by Riley Sager. So be on the lookout for that coming up. And I hope everybody, again, is continuing to do well with your sprints, your productivity here. Yeah, I lost track of my cursor there for a second. So trying to get myself back on track here. Nazy41, welcome back. And Nazy says, I haven't done any writing since April. Wow. Since April. I had no intention in writing today, but managed to get a few words down. Very good. I mean, just got to keep moving forward, you know? Gosh, I wish I could remember that one quote from Martin Luther King about constantly moving forward. So, but there is a quote. Let me see if I can find that real quick. See, now I'm not going to be able to let it go. Let me see. It's here it is. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. So there you go. Just keep moving forward, keep making progress. Every little bit counts. Let's see. I'm a slow, yeah. Yeah, part of it is I've been working on some, I know this is going to sound weird, and maybe it's not as weird as I think it is, but I've been working on some reading techniques to speed up my reading, and I've actually been trying that today with Survive the Night. So it's been pretty effective. I think I had a sit down this morning, and I read about 60 pages in a relatively short period of time. So that was really good. So I got those 60 pages in, as I said, probably at about 80 pages total so far in terms of reading. So I'm in a pretty good spot with that. So definitely excited about that. Let me see. I'll just throw that up there because so once I get done reading this, then I'll have some decisions that I need to make about what I'm going to read. And there's some other good books out there that I'm looking at, that I've discussed, that I talked about on my TBR video that dropped this morning. So go and take a look at that if you want to get some insight on what I'm going to be reading for the month of July. And also you can see the reading wrap up for June and some of the books that I chose to read in June. June was a very good, very productive month for me as far as reading. So I was very effective. And let me see give you guys a little bit of an update on my Goodreads goal. I know some of you were switching to StoryGraph, and I might need to check that out at some point too, as far as a potential new place to go to monitor the books that I'm reading. So, okay, so my 2021 Goodreads reading challenge goal, I pledged to read 55 books, and right now I'm at 40, and we're just, I don't know, I guess what, technically past the halfway point of the year. So I'm definitely well on pace for that. I'm 73% toward my goal. So I anticipate breaking that goal probably in the next, probably by the end of August, I should have that goal broken. So I'm in pretty good shape there. Let me see. It tells you how many, I'm 13 books ahead of schedule. So some of that, of course, has been helped by reading some audio. I don't know if you can read audiobooks, but I've been doing some audiobooks. So that's certainly helped me a little bit in terms of really just kind of destroying my goal by 13 books ahead of pace there. So, hey, it's all good though. Welcome, Margaret Pinard, one of our productivity sprint buddies and fellow booktuber, fellow author tuber as well. Taking a lunch break right now. I always forget that you're on that other coast way out there. So that is cool. Glad to see that. Let's see. I am not reading anything currently, just shoveling food in my mouth, but I am done painting. So are you painting artistically or are you painting house painting? You know, it's funny. I've got some painting that I need to do as well, but some outdoor painting. So there's an area of my garage that's the trim around the garage door is pretty badly weather beaten and needs to be repainted. And there's some other areas that need to be repainted as well. So got some good all-purpose paint, that outdoor paint that should work and do the job. So it's just a matter of me. Well, I got to scrape the weather beaten paint off. That's not going to be fun. And of course, I have to, shouldn't say of course, but I'm also going to put new window shutters on at some point. I got to go out and buy those. I was going to hire somebody to do it, but I think everybody's just kind of like, dude, that's so easy. You should just be able to do it yourself. So nobody wants to do it. So I guess I'll just do it myself. It'll save me some bucks though. So I'll just do it myself. It'll save me some bucks unless I screw it up. So let's see. I've been in a reading slump, but finished 3 books last month. So feeling I'm slowly getting my groove back. Yeah, I think a lot of it when I get in a reading slump, somebody asked me this the last time I was on a live stream, like, what do you do when you get in a reading slump? And I said, just look for the books that you're really excited about reading and focus on those and just shrink your TBR to just a small number and just focus on reading the books that you're just really excited about. The books that you've either always wanted to read or the books, newer books that you are just extremely excited about. And that's what usually helps me. So Margaret clarifies it's house painting. Okay, so that's good. I've got some of that I need to do as well. I got to get a drywall person to come in here and patch some damage that happened from a leaky roof. So I need to do, there's some things that I can do, but this is a drywall job that probably need to call the pros in to get that one done. Some greetings here from between Margaret and AZ there. Let's see. So Neil Houston got me out of my. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good direction to go in. So yeah, I mean, just find that book or that author that you trust that you can go to, and then just shrink that TBR, like I said, just to whatever small number you need to shrink it to feel more comfortable with what you're doing. So I definitely feel you on that. I had a writing slump. I can't remember a writing slump. I had a reading slump. I know it doesn't look like it because I'm so far ahead of my Goodreads goal, but I had a month earlier this year where I was struggling a little bit, and and I just kind of said, you know what, and just kind of scrapped the TBR and just try to focus on just reading good books that I'm really excited about. And also, I think I mentioned this on a video, but audiobooks really helped me to get back on track, because I hearing it, and I did an audiobook for a book that I had a physical copy of, and then listening to the audiobook and then reading a little bit and then listening and then reading, that really helped me kind of snap out of it a little bit. Let's see. Pop quiz: differences between foam, spackle, and putty. I'm definitely learning. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it like that, but yeah, you're going to be quite the you're going to almost be a contractor here pretty soon with the knowledge that you're acquiring here. Let's see. It'll be interesting to see what you think about Survive the Night. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'm about 80 pages in, and I'm liking it. Riley Sager does a really good job, and I know I'm giving away some of what I was going to do in my reading vlog about this, but Riley Sager does a good job of building suspense and introducing characters, building tension, and so he's really kind of a master at that. And his writing, I think, is improved from Final Girls. Like, I think his writing just continues to improve with each story with each book that he puts out. So yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about it. It's a 4 to 5 star read for me right now, but that's just 80 pages in. So we'll see where it gets from there. Yeah, the July TBR. I mean, I really didn't think of it so much as a TBR as much as these are books that I'm interested in reading, because it's funny. I always do the TBR and then I always end up deviating from it, in part because I very rarely put audiobooks that I'm looking at reading on my TBR. Now, part of that is because some of the audiobooks that pop up as part of my subscription service, I don't always know what they're going to have, unless you really dig in there deep. So we shall see, but I highly doubt that I'll end up reading all those books. But I am going to focus on there's about 3 or 4. I mentioned Survive the Night, of course. I've got over here that you guys can't see, The President's Daughter by Bill Clinton and James Patterson is one that I'm looking at. And then I've got Malibu Rising, Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid and really enjoyed that book. So I'm looking forward to giving Taylor Jenkins Reid another try. I also have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid that I never did get around to reading, but that was a highly thought of book amongst the Goodreads community. Let's see. Jade Ridley says, currently reading Kill Creek by Scott Thomas, and it's bringing the reading spark back. Very interesting. Kill Creek. I'll have to look at that. You got me kind of curious about that. Kill Creek. That's Scott Thomas. Let me check that out. Kill Creek. A spooky cover art here. Let's see. At the end of a dark prairie road, dearly forgotten in the Kansas countryside, is the Finch house. Oh, I'm liking that already. I like that scene painted right there. This is a nice, this is a nice book blurb right here. For years, it has remained empty, overgrown, abandoned. Soon, the door will be open for the first time in decades, but something is waiting, lurking in the shadows, anxious to meet its new guests. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to. Good call on Kill Creek. All right. Good job, Jade. That's a good one. I like that one. I am feeling that one. Yes, Riley Sager is a man. And I'll tell you, Margaret, you might be really interested. There was a discussion about this not that long ago about Riley Sager, and not just about Riley Sager, but it was about that's actually not his real name either. But there's a discussion about pseudonyms and male authors using female names, quote unquote female names. And there's a big discussion on YouTube about that. And Riley Sager was a big part of that. I don't know. That was probably a couple of years ago. I think when Riley Sager first really emerged after well, Final Girls, obviously his first book really grabbed a lot of attention. So he really started to emerge there, and then people just really got going with that discussion. So yeah, you should check out some of those videos about pseudonyms. I mean, it works both ways. There are women that will maybe use initials for their first name and then a last name. Some people might see advantages to looking like a male, sort of pretending to, I don't want to say pretending, I hate pretending, but coming across, letting people think that you're the opposite gender. It's probably just maybe a safer, more politically correct way of saying it. Let's see. Lock Every Door was hard for me to put down. I thought he was a woman tooth and nail. Yeah, a lot of people did. Yeah, you guys are not alone with that. Lock Every Door was interesting. That's his second book. And after I read Final Girls was okay. It had some weird stuff going on in it that kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. And then I looked at Lock Every Door, and at first I wasn't super excited about it. This was before Riley Sager became an auto buy for me. I wasn't super excited initially, but then I started to get pumped up about it as I kept reading it and reading it and reading it. I liked it. And then once I started reading it, like you, I just could not put that thing down. And then from there, it was just, automatic that I was going to read Lock Every Door is his third book. The Last Time I Lied was his second book. So I read Final Girls, Last Time I Lied, and then Lock Every Door. So my apologies about that. Yeah, The Last Time I Lied, which is interesting. I forgot The Last Time I Lied is the second book because that was actually my favorite Riley Sager book. So I don't know if you felt that way, but that was definitely my favorite Riley Sager book. Let's see here. I got to catch up here. You guys are starting to kick it up here on me a little bit. Let's see. I expected a young blonde woman. It's interesting. Our perceptions. I think about that when I'm drawing characters for my writing, and like how I picture it versus how somebody else who's reading it would picture it too. Let's see. Have you read City of Girls? I have not, but I've heard about that, and I've been interested in that one. Very similar to Seven Husbands. Okay, that's good. Good. I like recommendations, so I am definitely interested in that. Oh, it was about the young blonde woman. I'll tell you what, you are probably not the only one that thought that. So, let's see. A good pseudonym choice for marketing. Well, again, I can't remember there were some other names that came up. I don't have to worry about that because my name is actually my name, but, and I get misgendered all the time. Not because of the way I look, because I definitely don't look like a woman, but, and if I did, that would probably not be good. But for my name, when people hear my name or read my name, they are just kind of like, oh, okay. And then they're like, oh, when they see you in person, oh, not what I pictured. So, but yeah, you should check out that discussion if you get bored and you want to check out that issue. That issue was popping a couple years ago. Let's see. I missed that discussion before my time, but you can always go back and look. YouTube is almost like an encyclopedia at times where you can go back and review things that you may have missed along the lines that you can come back and check it out at a later date. Let's see. Margaret says, oof, food coma on leftover Chinese. Ooh, very good. I do like Chinese. I do have a weakness for Chinese. Yeah. I wish I knew how to make it. I'm trying to work on a good recipe for chicken fried rice. And I saw a guy making some other dishes like egg foo young, which I like when it's made well. But you get cheap. It's not very good, but you get somebody that knows what they're doing. It's actually really good. And there's so many other great dishes. So let's see. I've got a few minutes to let it settle. Then back to change curtains. That's another thing I got to do around the house. That's another around the house project that I need to get done. Some window treatments. When I bought my house, it was totally random. It was just no rhyme or reason to the indoor window treatments that they had. There's just like different curtains, vertical blinds, horizontal blinds, accordion blinds. it was like just everything was just completely random. Like I'm like, I need to hire like an interior decorator to come in here, and don't even let me get started about the wallpaper here that you can kind of see in the background behind me. And this is not even the worst of the wallpaper that was in here when I bought the house. But yeah, I definitely need to work on getting some consistency here in terms of curtains, blinds. It gets crazy, man. I'm just sitting here looking at one room. We got vertical blinds. Then over here to my right, we've got accordion blinds. Then in the kitchen here ahead of me, there's like two different types of curtains, curtain rods. It's all over the place. It's just a mess. And I got to clean it up. Steph from Coffee Over Apples is in here. Welcome, Steph. Good to see you. Hope you're staying strong on that education grind this summer. Wishing you all the best as you knock that out. I mean, you're just killing the game here. We're all just trying to get on your level. I'm trying to get on your level. I should go. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I do, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the cool things about graduate studies is finding like something that you're really excited about. You know, finding a program that you really just are motivated to really just knock out. Because once you get that, then you're gonna be in good shape here. All right, let me look at some of these other books that were recommended. So Nazy recommended City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. So let me look that up real quick. City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. Let's see. Oh, I have seen that cover before. Yeah, I think I have seen this before. Hold on. Oh, a little historical fiction here. Beloved author Elizabeth Gilbert returns to fiction with a unique love story set in New York City, in a New York City theater during the 1940s, told from the perspective of an older woman as she looks back on her youth with both pleasure and regret, but mostly pleasure. City of Girls explores, yeah, this is very much like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. City of Girls explores themes of female sexuality and promiscuity as well. Wow, this is like almost, you're right. Man, that is very similar. Very similar. Wow. Well, that does sound good. Yeah. Well, that's a little bit of a beast. 480 pages. That's a little bit of a beast. But wow, that looks really good. Oh, I can get it used for. Oh, okay. Oh, I might get a used copy of it. All right, Nazy, good call. I'm with you on that one. That's a good one. That is a really, really good one. Steph says, hey, thanks, Sandy. Always appreciate the love and support. You got it. You got it. You got it. Just absolutely happy about that. Let's see. Margaret, I think Sandy found the prime time spot for a sprint. No. Got a jet, but I think everybody have fun. Yeah. Thank you for coming through. Much appreciated. Always glad to have you in the house. Nacy says it's a beast, but a quick read. Yeah, you know what? I found that with Evelyn, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now that I think about it, I think that was a little bit of a longer one too. But yeah, you know, but it really, once you hit like a stride, my computer just went to sleep on me. But once you hit like a stride, it like really just flows like really, really nicely. Yeah, you should check that out, Steph. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, I know you really enjoyed that. It was City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert was the one. And yeah, just looking at the description of it. Yeah, it's amazing. Let's see. This one is 2019, June 4th, 2019. So that's about 2 years old. Let me see. I remember when Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo came out, 2017. So, wow, I didn't know that book was that old. So that must have been what you meant, Steph, when you said you read it. I think last year you said you read it. So Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was June 13th, 2017. Obviously, June is a prime month for a lot of books to drop. So prime, no pun intended, to Amazon. So good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get in another 20-minute productivity sprint. Outstanding chat from everybody. Appreciate everybody that chimed in. Very, very good discussions, and sounds like people have some good things that they're reading, which is very exciting to me. And as I said, I'm going to finish Survive the Night. I want to get that knocked out. Pre-ordered that one, and did not regret it. So as I'm seeing more and more people are saying that Riley Sager is an auto buy for them. So I guess Riley Sager's getting quite the positive reputation here. So, all right, let me go into our third and final sprint of the early afternoon. And let me see, hold on. Yeah, last year it was in my top 10. Good, good. Yeah, it was. We'll see what happens for the end of the year. I've got some good books that I'm excited about that I've mentioned. The first half of 2021 for me in terms of reading, there were some good books. A lot of 4-star books. I probably have more 4-star books, and I'm like generous and harsh at the same time in how I score books. But I've had a lot of 4-star reads, and then Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was one that really hit me in a good way, and so I ended up giving that one 5. But it was a good one, so we'll see. I've got some more, like I said, some really, really good ones on tap that I'm looking forward to reading before the end of the month. So, or before the end of the year, I should say, and before the end of the month too. All right, so let me go ahead. Let me see. My computer's acting a fool right now. It's tripping out here. It's not understanding the moment here where we're trying to keep everything on track. So it like went to like sleep on me at the wrong time. So let me see if I can pull this bad boy back up. All right, there we go. All right, we're back up and running. So, all right, so I'm going to go in for 20 minutes, then I'll come back and we'll wrap it up. So if you guys have any other things that you want to ask me about, talk about, you want to share any more book recommendations, got a couple of really good ones here today that I'm definitely excited about, then we can talk about it then. But for the next 20 minutes, have some happy productivity time. Okay, I finished the last sprint with 590 words. So 590 words for the last sprint. So I am definitely feeling a great deal of progress. So I had over 500 words for all three sprints, almost 600 for the last sprint. So definitely surpassed my goal of 1,500 words during this particular series of sprints. So very excited about that. It puts me in very, very good progress looking ahead to my Camp NaNoWriMo goal for the month, which is 50,000 words by the end of the month. And so I just threw in, what did I have, like a couple thousand, I think, for my first update. And so I'll probably end up with at least 2,000 today because I'm going to continue to do some more writing. And maybe it might even get up to 3,000 by the time it's all said, done, and written for the day. So let's see. Bravo. Appreciate that. Thank you. Great work, team, indeed. Lots of good things going on. Man, it turned out to be a really good live stream. I appreciate everybody that came through. I was at first I was like here by myself, and it was like crickets around here, and so it was really great to see a lot of people come through once they were able to free themselves up and graciously agree to spend a little bit of time here with me and with the group to talk about books, talk about writing, talk about whatever. I talked about window treatments, blinds, curtains, vertical blinds, horizontal blinds, accordion blinds. Actually, I don't know accordion, just accordion, window treatments. So all kinds of stuff going on here. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody. I'm going to get ready to sign off here because we're coming up on 2 hours. And I need to get up and get the legs moving here a little bit. Maybe I'll go outside and do a little photography. It is about 82 degrees here. So, pretty nice day outside. So go ahead and get outside and get some fresh air here at some point, and then come back in and knock out some projects around the house. So again, thanks to everybody who joined here today. It was definitely a pleasure having everybody come in, and hope everybody is going to have a good rest of your day. And hopefully you'll be productive. And if you're not productive, you can just go ahead and relax for the day. Nothing wrong with being lazy. I might take a little bit of the rest of this day and be a little bit lazy. Who knows? I might do some photography tomorrow. I still got to put together that barbecue grill because I have the food to barbecue, but I don't have the grill to barbecue on. So I need to get that. Well, I have the old barbecue grill, but that's past its prime. So it's time to get a new one going here. Let's see. Nazy says working in the backyard after this. Okay, very, very good. I need to do that too. I've got some weeds I need to pull out in the backyard, and maybe even a few out in the front yard as well. So I probably need to get out and do a little bit of that as well. Let's see. Steph says always a good time hanging out with you, Sandy. Didn't know there were so many. Yeah, there's so many different types of window treatments. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the real mystery is why there are so many different ones here in my house. So, yeah, it's almost like a museum, like a window treatment museum. Like you go in a different room and you can see a different type of window treatment. I am finally going to write. Well, hey, go ahead and get it in, and whatever you get in is progress toward hopefully a goal that you've set. That'll put you where you want to be. And so I pledged for Camp NaNoWriMo, I pledged 50,000 words. That may be a little bit overly ambitious, but then again, maybe not. We shall see. July is obviously a big holiday month, big holiday coming up tomorrow, 4th of July. So that's typically a lot of times where people just kind of relax and just chill out, maybe enjoy some family time, some time to reflect, or maybe continue to do some projects. So we shall see what happens, but there may all kinds of window treatments to the sign of maximum adult. It is like, if there was any doubt about whether I was full blown into adulting, then it was probably confirmed. Just even being able to recognize different types of window treatments. It's so random. When I moved in here, it's just like, yeah, it's so random. I can't even put into words how random it is. And I still bought the house. So maybe that says something about me. Let's see. If I get 10,000 words and or finish a novelette, I'll be happy. You should. And well, you should be. Yeah. That's kind of where I started, is writing shorter stories, and then you just kind of, you can build off of that and do something a bit longer. So, yeah, no, I was right there with you. I knew where you were going with that. So yeah, I mean, just 10,000 words is great. That's a decent, novella that you can work on, put together. And so, hey, that's a good starting point for you to get this thing going. So, all right, well, everybody, well, have a great rest of your day, and I will be back here next week. So check that out. Also, a reminder that I did drop a video this morning, and that was my potential reads for the month of July. So check that out. Earlier in the week, I wrapped up my June 2021 reading. So please consider checking out those two videos as well. So everybody, take care and have a great rest of your day. Peace.